only fitting.
Well, are you always recognized wherever you go in New York?
Not really. I can put on a no polo coat and no makeup and get along pretty well.
She had these two sides, and in a way I really liked the side of her that she didn't show to the public so much. The no makeup, the kind of the little girl. Interesting, not sexual, really. It was almost asexual in its quality. She was flirtatious and charming, but without that need to put on that other mask.
You see, in Hollywood, she always felt she had to be a star on and off, which meant playing almost two parts. The part of the star off the screen, and then the part that she was also playing on. That's very wearing.
John Springer was Marilyn's publicist for many years.
I was completely involved through the actor studio period. She was funny. She was a funny girl. I mean, people treat her like a bubblehead. She wasn't. She was a very smart, witty, bright person.
And Marilyn, speaking of measurements, are they still the same as when you left? Have you gained weight? Have you lost weight?
I think I'm about the same.
About the same.
Yes.
Nobody has any complaints.
I don't know.
Speak up, boys. You're wearing a high-neck dress now. The last time I saw you wear it. Is this a new Marilyn, a new style?
No, I'm the same person, but it's a different suit.
Lee Strasberg in the actor's studio stood for people like Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift and Geraldine Page and Maureen Stapleton, the great, great people. For the first time, Marilyn took her life as an actress seriously because somebody had great faith in her as an actress.
That's why the link with my father was so strong, was that he recognized in her that shining flame, which she did have. If you talk to people who saw her at the actor's studio when she was on stage, you know, in life, she tended to have kind of a small quality. In other words, almost like a little girl quality. So that you wouldn't have imagined that on stage that light would kind of enlarge. But it did. She glowed on stage.
Of course, they were fascinated with her. I don't think they'd ever had such a notorious kind of a movie star in their midst before.
And what it took to walk into the actor's studio, where they were all real hardcore get-down actors, and the language that they used.
Seeing what we did there, seeing the courage to explore one's terrors, one's fantasies, I think that's something she was longing to try, and she did.
And Marilyn, to be so well known and to walk into a room of actors who would have such contempt for you and what you stood for,
took a certain kind of real guts that I don't think people give her credit for.
We could see that she was really a baby in this, but she did have the courage, and she did some very interesting work. But at the same time, you had such a feeling that it was almost like jumping out of the window when she did it. She had so little sense of security about it that she wasn't sure she'd be able to get herself back together again. But of course, she was growing. She was developing.
There were some surprises, like the revelation that Marilyn was seeing America's most respected playwright, Arthur Miller. And there had been another surprise.
They were going to make the Brothers Karamazov into a film, and Marilyn said she wanted to be Grushenka. And she could have played it beautifully. But of course, everybody laughed at the pretension of this woman, this girl, this gentlemen prefer blondes type, saying that she wanted to play great Russian drama. And I think the press began to ridicule her at that point.
Do you feel, you said you wanted to grow. Do you feel you have grown?
Well, I hardly know how to answer that since they misinterpret that, meaning
I'm not.
in inches or something.
I'm not talking about...
And she didn't care because she knew what she was. By this point, she knew she was good. She knew she was, and she had never known. She had never been taken seriously. She had never been treated like anything but a kind of a beautiful idiot child.
After only a year in New York, Marilyn's determination paid off. She received a new contract and a new power.
Marilyn, are you happy to come back and do this picture? Are you pleased with the bus stop?
Oh, yes, very much. I'm looking forward to working with Josh Logan and doing the picture, and it's good to be back.
Was he your selection as a director?
20th Century Fox selected him, and I have director approval, and they asked if I would approve of him, and definitely
You did. So you're very happy. You think you're going to make a very good picture.
I hope it will be a good picture.
Marilyn Monroe, I said, she can't act, can she? But I had only seen her in these funny, flashy movies where she sort of breathed hard and was very sexy. And Lee Strasberg said, well, she was the best actress outside of best